Good evening, everyone. Fellow commissioners, staff, our in person audience, and to our viewers watching our meeting today. Good evening. Since this is our first Planning Commission meeting, well, Happy New Year to everyone. So Happy New Year. And I will call the City of Cerritos Planning Commission special meeting of January 14th, 2026 to order. Next is our Pledge of Allegiance, and may I call on Commissioner Chauhan to lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
Please stand, face the flag, and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Chauhan. Next will be our roll call, but before we proceed with roll call, I would like to ask my fellow commissioner if there's a motion to excuse the absence of Vice Chair Chaveri. He called in and said that he wouldn't be able to make it today, so I would like to get a motion, please.
I move to excuse Commissioner Javeri, who is out of town and cannot attend today's meeting.
Seconded.
Do I need a second, please?
Second.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Au and seconded by Commissioner Chauhan. So now to call on the vote. All those in favor, please vote.
The motion passes to excuse Vice Chair Javeri's excusal by a vote of 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Acuna. Next on our agenda is a presentation from our staff.
Sorry, Chair Reyes, before doing so, I do want to take roll call for the rest of the
Oh, yes,
commission at
yes,
this
please.
time.
Roll call, please.
So at this time, I'll take a verbal roll call. Commissioner Au,
Present.
Commissioner Surdy,
Here.
Commissioner Chauhan,
Here.
Chair Reyes,
Here.
and noting the excusal by Vice Chair Javari. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Acuna. Next on our presentation is item number 4, Alpha. This is an informational report providing status update on water and sewer infrastructure, including an emergent repair on the C4 well and the purchase of imported water. Staff.
Yes, good evening, Chair Reyes and members of the Planning Commission. As noted by the Chair, tonight's item under Agenda Item 4A is a presentation and an informational report to the Commission regarding water and sewer rate infrastructure updates. Tonight, we are present is Director Alvin Papa, along with Assistant Director of Public Works, Chris Kubart, who will provide a presentation at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Acuna. Good evening, Planning Commission. Today I'll be giving you a status update on the water and sewer infrastructure. This is a presentation that we did at yesterday's Economic Development Commission, and it's also similar to what we presented to Council this past Monday. The presentation provides a high-level update on the infrastructure and also a status on the emergency repair of the C4 water well and its associated imported water purchases during the repair period. On the map above, you see a map of our water infrastructure. Most of the system was built in the 1970s, and it includes 4 groundwater wells shown by the 4 stars you see above. There are 3 reservoirs, 2 booster stations, 1 import connection, and a series of emergency interconnections with our neighboring cities. Under normal conditions, our local wells allow the city to meet all of our water demand by using lower cost groundwater that's pumped directly from the central groundwater basin, which is beneath the city. As this infrastructure ages, and right now it's over 50 years old, the risk of failure increases and the overall reliability of the water system declines. Next, you will see a map of our sewer infrastructure. The system includes about 146 miles of pipe, over 3,100 manholes, and 6 sewer lift stations. The city's sewer system is collection only, and from there we transport our wastewater to the Los Angeles County Sanitation Districts, where they treat the water at the Los Coyotes treatment plant. Much of our sewer pipe in the ground is made of vitrified clay or steel, and it's more than 50 years old, which places it near the end of its useful life. On the table above, these are key water projects identified as critical infrastructure needs through recent staff evaluations. The critical water infrastructure needs are about $23 million, or approximately $25.3 million when accounting for inflation. These wells include well rehabilitation, valve replacements, and treatment system upgrades. These investments are needed to reduce the risk of failures, especially at our water wells, and to maintain safe and reliable water service for our community. This next table summarizes our critical sewer infrastructure needs. Total need is about $3.9 million, or about $4.3 million when adjusted for inflation. The projects include pump station rehabilitation, sewer main replacement, and closed-circuit television inspection of our sewer pipes. These efforts help prevent sewer system failures that can lead to sewer spills and costly unplanned emergency repairs. This slide shows the mailer that was sent out to all Cerritos properties earlier this month. The goal of this public information mailer was to give residents a clear, high-level overview of the city's water and sewer infrastructure, along with the need for ongoing investment. The mailer reflects the same information that is currently available on the city's website. And now with regards to the C4 well emergency repair. This was an item that was brought to council on December 22nd, 2025. Back in October, the C4 well was experiencing sand and gravel intrusion which had the potential to further damage the equipment inside. As a result, we ended up taking the well offline. We performed camera inspections in November, and then in December, we brought forth an emergency item to do an emergency repair with a total cost of approximately $643,000. Additionally, while the well remains offline, the city must purchase imported water, which costs significantly more than our locally produced groundwater. To date, we have purchased about 176 acre-feet of water since the well's been offline, and that's created an additional cost of approximately $196,000. Staff is continuing to actively coordinate with our contractor so that we can begin repair work tentatively scheduled for late January. So in summary, much of our city's water and sewer system infrastructure is aging. It requires replacement and requires investment to remain reliable. The C4 water well repair is just an indication of an example of the risks that we have and the costs that are associated with those risks when we have aging infrastructure that's reaching near the end of its useful service life. The item brought to you today is for information only, and no additional action is required tonight. And that concludes my presentation, and Chris and I are here to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Papa. Do we have any comments from the commissioners?
Just a few questions for clarification. In the water and sewer rate study, I think originally was C4 well was identified to, you're going to start working on it in like around 2027. And so we're actually we're fixing it 2 years ahead of time because of this sudden breach of sand and gravel. Do we know what causes this early breakdown of this thing, that's a well? Or
Yes.
is it just...
Yes, thank you for the question, Commissioner. The reason that it's starting to break down really is age. The casing, so to speak, has been in the ground for approximately 50 years. And so we have an outer casing, and that casing has already begun eroding. And there were holes in the casing, I think in 2022 or 2021 is when we discovered it. So then we ended up installing a liner. So there was a casing, and then we installed a smaller pipe inside because the outside pipe ended up having damage. Well, now that inside liner is also having damage, and a lot of it is due to rust. And when, if you've seen metal bars, when they rust, it starts getting thinner and eroding. And when you're pumping in water, it's pulling in, the rock is pushing up against it. And at some point, it starts breaching, and then that's where the sand and gravel start entering the casing. And so the failure that we've identified are holes in the casing, and I think it's approximately 800 feet deep is where we found them.
Okay, thank you, Alvin. Another question. On page 104 of the rate study, item number 45, it says C4 well rehab. So with this emergency repair, that particular line item will not be necessary. Is that correct?
No, that is not correct. It's actually a different project.
Okay.
So the well rehab is actually a well replacement. So we need to drill a new hole in the ground, and we also need to build treatment systems to clean up the water. There is PFAS at well C4, and so that is the forever chemical. It used to be associated with Teflon and firefighting foams. So we actually have to build a treatment system. So that's different from just fixing a hole, where we have to do a lot more as part of the project.
Okay. One last question. On page 31 of that study, table 3-11, you actually presented that, included that in your presentation. For C1 well water treatment design and construction, and C4 well water treatment design and construction, the there's a $15 million difference. So that difference is due to the fact that the first year it costs you $1 million, and the next 3 years, it's a 4-year cycle. The next 3 years cost $5 million a year. Is that true for C1? Can we assume that the next 3 years after 2030, you're gonna need the $15 million for C1?
Yes, so yes, Commissioner, you're on the right track. So the C1 well, that $1 million is for the design. The C1 well will be closer to an $8 million project. It doesn't quite need the same type of extensive treatment that C4 does. C4 needs a much more extensive treatment because of the forever chemicals. The C1 well, we think, will cost somewhere around $8 to $10 million. But that $1 million is just the first year of design. What we've done is we decided to push that out as far as possible to minimize that project's impact to the rate. So this kind of extends out the rates. Instead of building all 4 wells at once, we're trying to stagger them and build them one at a time. And the benefit of that is anytime we take a well offline, we have to buy imported water to cover the difference. And it's probably going to be $2.5 to $3 million of additional imported water costs whenever we do that. So we've basically put it so that we have C1 starting when C4 is ending, is the goal.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Commissioner Al. Commissioner Chauhan?
So I just have a clarification question regarding the water quality. You know, we've said that we have some arsenic in some of our well. How does the water quality that we are purchasing from MWD compare to the water that we're extracting from our ground?
I would say, both sources of groundwater meet the Department of Health requirements for service to residents. I'd say the constituents are a little bit different, but they're all within health regulations. I don't know all the specific details of the water that we are getting from MWD, but I do know there are some differences when it comes to the amount of calcium, the way they chlorinate. They use a different chlorination method, so there are differences. But ultimately, both sources of water are safe to use and distribute to residents.
No, so my question was, how much more work do we have to do to the MWD water as compared to the water that we extract?
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the clarification, Commissioner. So with regards to the water that we get from MWD, we can actually serve it right away. What we'd have to do, though, is we have to be very careful with how much imported water we pull and how much it mixes with our current system in the water. Because the two ways of chlorination are different, they fight each other, actually. And so if the two sources of water blend together for too long, you can lose chlorine residual, which means the water has a potential for bacteria to end up in it if it's not managed properly. But our water division staff has been managing the blend and the mix and how long we operate. So what we typically do is when we pull the imported water in, we manage our own groundwater wells around it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Chauhan. Any, Commissioner Rios?
Hi, I have a question about the contractor. It's going to start, I guess, late January, early February, right? So, and what's the delay in terms of, what's the delay for him to do it at that time? Is that delay costing us any money?
Yeah, so with regards to the delay, it's more of there are a limited number of contractors that are able to do this work, and General Pump is very busy. So they are a respected contractor in the industry, but they're their forces are deployed. They're deployed all over LA County and Orange County. And so really it's them organizing resources, getting the equipment, doing the planning for the repair, and making sure they have the people and the equipment available to do the repair. So the repair is several hundreds of feet deep, and it's you have to make sure you have the personnel with the skill and you have the equipment that's appropriate for the repair to do it. So it's just a lot of logistical work. And they're usually booked up weeks, months in advance.
And my second question is, how long will it take to get this repaired?
The initial estimate is about 10 weeks to complete the repair itself. But we do have a disclaimer because the pumping equipment that we took offline, it went over to their shop and they're inspecting it. And so if there's damage to the equipment that needs to be repaired, that could extend the repair timing.
And the third question is there any guarantee that the repair would be guaranteed, I guess?
I'd say it's very hard to guarantee the work. Typically on this type of work, there's a 1-year guarantee. But we are dealing with a repair that's hundreds of feet deep. They will do their best to make the repair. But I've had wells where they were doing the repair and the well was so corroded that the well collapsed. And so, we lost a couple of 100 feet in a well in Huntington Beach in the past, and it can happen, right? So you never know what's under there. So, but they are experts. We took a lot of time to think through the repair, what needed to be done, so that we have something that could last a long time.
I have one more question. I know the goal is safe and reliable water. Okay, and how do we ensure it's going to be safe and reliable?
Oh, so with regards to safety, we do routine water quality testing. So we test for all the constituents required by our public health regulations. And those go to the State Water Board. So there's regular monitoring of the water system. With regards to reliability, that's what we're doing now. We try to maintain our system, and there is we know we're at a point where the system is aged. We know that there's been challenges maintaining it, and we've had things breaking. And that's why we're currently going through a water and sewer rate adjustment so we can pay for these critical water infrastructure. So we know on the 3 wells that we have, the casings themselves have about a decade of life left. And that's why for reliability, we've presented that list that you have here with regards to the critical water infrastructure needs. If we want to maintain reliability, we need to rebuild those wells.
Yeah, there's a lot of criticism with with some people in the city of Cerritos. They're concerned about the costs associated with this, right? Okay, and so I think the concern is that they feel that the cost could be delayed or not done. How do you respond to that?
I think, if we do delay these projects, that is an option. There is the do nothing option, and we could run these wells into the ground. But then that's the cost of purchasing import water. At what we've calculated, every well is about, when it goes down, if we run it for the entire year, it's about $2.5 to $3 million additional costs than what we're paying now. So a well will typically pay for itself. You'll get your buyback within 3 to 4 years. But the biggest issue is we lose our local self-reliance. Right now, we're pumping water out of the ground underneath where we have water rights. And so we can pump the water that we need out of the ground. With regards to import water, that comes from the Colorado River or it comes from the State Water Project, which, yes, we can purchase it at a more expensive price. But the challenge comes in areas or during times of drought, the state will regulate how much water cities can purchase. They're going to have to service the entire state. And so I've seen where where cities have to ration out their water, or they are not able to irrigate, and there are emergency procedures, and that can happen. I think during the recent drought a couple of years ago, in northern parts of LA, people had to restrict their water use. And then in some cases, if people didn't follow those water use regulations, they would put a little restrictor on your meter and you'd basically get just lifeline drip. And you couldn't do a lot of what you wanted to do. So, I think what we see above at these critical water infrastructure needs, this is the absolute minimum of what we need to do. As staff, we evaluated the system. We proposed $43 million worth of projects initially that are best management practice to maintain the system. But we've cut that down to 23 million, and this is the absolute minimum.
Thank you so much. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Surti. Do we have any more questions from the commissioner? So what we have now is to open this presentation for public comment. And before we call on the speakers, I would like to read this memo regarding the speaking portion. This section is reserved for public comments on consent calendar and items not listed on the agenda, but are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. Verbal comments may be limited to 3 minutes per speaker, subject to the chair extending a maximum of 5 minutes per speaker, with a total time allotted not to exceed 45 minutes unless the chair extends. Do we have any speaker? Yes, ma'am. Could you? Do you need more than 3 minutes for yours?
I might need 5, but I'm going to try to be pretty concise.
Not a problem. You have the full 5 minutes, and if needed, might
Great.
extend a little. And could you please state your name and your address, please?
Yes. So my name is Carly Gilheis, and I'm a Cerritos resident, and I live on Ibex Avenue. Thank you for giving me the 5 minutes, but I'm trying to get done before that. So I'm here tonight to speak to you because what I turned in to be read at the Monday night city council meeting was not read. The mayor decided that he was not going to for the first time ever with this topic, not read opinions, specifically opposing opinions. So that's the clue. I have an opposing opinion. We talked about, we've already spent $196K in buying water. Well, let me help you. If we don't have a special election that's going to be $200 to $300K, that $196K is covered. We also heard, if I'm right, that the price of a well going down in a year is $2 to $3 million. If we don't subsidize the CCPA to the tune of $3 to $5 million, we got that covered. I'm not sure the exact amount that we subsidize the Magnolia Power Plant, but I'm sure that it would cover that. So it's not that we don't think that there's repairs that need to be made. We think that we need to be financially responsible for the entire city budget, not just the water system. So I'm going to read to you what I sent in. I'm here to formally oppose the proposed water and sewer rate increase scheduled for a hearing on January 26th. Let me be clear. This is not a routine rate adjustment. It is a nearly 300% increase that will impose additional $1,100 plus per year on households and around $6,000 per year on small businesses. According to the city's own rate tables, we didn't make these up, we took them right out of the letter. This is for a basic necessity like water. This increase is excessive, destabilizing, and fundamentally unreasonable. The Planning Commission could be out of a job in a year to 3 years because people will be spending their money on paying for their water and not on putting up their patios and doing remodels. And I'll tell you right up front, I'm one of those. My water rate will increase. I calculated it out. In the first year, I'm going to pay over $1,000 more in water. Told my husband, put that patio on hold because we can't afford it now if we've got to do this. It's practical stuff that we're talking about. Residents already endured a multi-year water and sewer rate increase from 2014 to 2020, which was justified at the time as being necessary to fund infrastructure improvements. Before asking the public to shoulder another far larger increase, the city owes residents a transparent, itemized accounting of what was actually completed with the prior funds. To date, that accounting has not been clearly presented. Equally troubling is the process. The notice was sent via bulk mail that resembled junk mail with no clear explanation that under Prop 218, a failure to respond is treated as approval. The younger generation would say that's sus, it's suspect, it's shady. That's not good business. That alone is unacceptable for an action of this magnitude. The lack of translated notices is particularly egregious in a city where over 60% of the residents are Asian, more than 14% are Latino, and nearly 1/4 of the population is over age 65 and often living on fixed incomes. A process that is inaccessible is not a fair process. This proposal also ignores well-established alternatives. Numerous municipalities have successfully used revenue bonds and long-term financing mechanisms to fund water infrastructure, spreading the cost over lifespan of the assets rather than imposing immediate rate shock on residents and businesses. There is no evidence that Cerritos has exhausted or even seriously pursued these options before resorting to one of the largest rate increases in the region. Finally, residents cannot ignore the broader fiscal context. City reserves have declined dramatically over recent years with substantial funds directed toward discretionary spending. Ratepayers should not be treated as the backstop for financial decisions that fall outside essential utility operations. So accordingly, I respectfully but firmly request that you encourage your city council members that appointed you to this commission. 1, postpone the January 26 hearing. 2, reduce the scale of the proposed rate increase. 3, provide a full public accounting of prior detailed level water and sewer rate expenditures. And 4, fully evaluate the revenue bonds and other phased alternatives. Water affordability is not an option. It's a core responsibility of local government. Proceeding with this proposal as currently structured would present a failure of fiscal responsibility, transparency, and equity. I urge you to slow this process down and work with the community before imposing the decision that will have long-term consequences for our residents, our seniors, and our small businesses throughout Cerritos. Thank you for the grace and the time. I appreciate it.
Ma'am, thank you for sharing your concern regarding this issue. Thank you so much. Do we have any other speaker? Do we have any speaker? Seeing none, I will close the public comment section of this meeting. Next is section 6. Alpha, approval of the minutes. I would like to get a motion to approve the Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025 Planning Commission regular meeting minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes?
I have a motion by Commissioner Chauhan. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Au. Can we have a vote, please? Okay. Result of the vote?
Okay, the motion passes 4-0.
Thank you, Commissioners. And now we move to a public hearing on 7 Alpha. Prior to opening this item for the staff report and commission consideration, I would like to recuse myself due to a conflict of interest. I own a property within the 500 feet of a project site. So, Assistant City Attorney Patel, is there anything further needed for the record regarding this recusal?
Nothing's further is required at this time for the
Okay.
recusal, and staff will take over from here.
Do I need to stay here or should I
You can step out.
step out?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
As there is no vice chair available to assume the role of chair for this item, I'll ask that the item be facilitated by Commission Liaison Ms. Acuna. Ms. Acuna? And
Okay, thank you. Yes, well,
or should I just step down?
No, you're okay to step out.
Thank you.
We're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you.
okay, Thank you, Commissioners, and good evening. Tonight, under Agenda Item Number 7A is a consideration for a precise plan relating to a residential, a request by a residential property owner to construct a new first floor and addition and a new second floor to an existing single-family story residence. This item was brought before at the December 3rd, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. At that time, it was continued to tonight, and so tonight staff will be providing the presentation. Tonight's presentation under this item will be given by Senior Planner Jeremy Lowe. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Acuna. Good evening, Chair and members of the Planning Commission. The property owners of 13345 Ashworth Street are requesting approval of Precise Plan 2025-11 to construct a 373 square foot first floor addition and a new 1,368 square foot second floor to an existing single-story residence. Additionally, they'll be reducing the existing garage by 56 square feet. For details of the proposal, I would like to direct your attention to the screen for a presentation. This is an aerial photo of the subject property, which is zoned single-family residential, RS 5000, and is generally located north of 183rd Street and west of Carmenito Road. This is an enlarged aerial view that shows the detail of the subject property. The property is bordered to the north, east, and west by single-family residences on properties zoned RS 5000. To the south is Ashworth Street, a 60-foot wide residential street, across which are additional single-family homes on properties also zoned RS 5000. This is a view of the front elevation of the existing single-family residence. The subject property currently contains conditions that do not comply with the Cerritos Municipal Code or the city's standards for residential properties. Here you can see the driveway has been extended to the west without city approval, resulting in the elimination of a required 18-inch landscape separation from any walkway that extends to the sidewalk. Project-specific conditions of approval 42 has been added to ensure the property is brought into compliance with the minimum front yard landscape standards. This is the proposed site plan showing the footprint of the home. The applicant proposes to construct a 373 square foot first floor addition and to add a new 1,368 square foot second floor and reducing the size of the garage by 56 square feet. As proposed, the project will meet all setbacks and lot coverage requirements. This is the proposed first floor plan. When completed, the first floor will include a living room, a dining room, a kitchen, family room, a bedroom with a bathroom, an additional powder room, and an elevator. And you'll note that the existing floor plan shows that the footprint is going to be extended beyond these dashed lines, because this floor plan is also showing the demolition of the existing walls. This is the proposed second floor plan. When completed, the new second floor will include a master bedroom suite with a bathroom, 3 additional bedrooms, 1 bathroom, as well as a loft space. One of the additional bedrooms will have its own bathroom. This is the adjacent neighbor plan. As shown on the plan, there is no direct alignment of windows with adjacent properties to the east or west, and the home to the north of the subject property is a 1-story residence. Therefore, any possible privacy issues arising from window placement have been mitigated through the project's design. This is the proposed front elevation. The residence will be finished with white, smooth stucco and white trims. In addition, the first floor of the front elevation will include decorative stone veneer, which will wrap around the side elevations along the areas that are publicly visible. The front elevation will also feature a new entry porch that provides a defined entrance to the home. This is the rear elevation. The roof of the residence will be covered with a charcoal-colored, lightweight concrete tile. This is the east side elevation. All windows and doors will be detailed with a minimum 4-inch wide stucco trim. And this is the west elevation, which features the same architectural enhancements found on the other elevations. All exterior colors and materials will be subject to the approval of the Department of Community Development to ensure that these elements complement the entire house and surrounding homes. This concludes the PowerPoint presentation. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve Precise Plan 2025-11, subject to all conditions of approval contained in the report. The project is categorically exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act review, and to date, staff has not received any comments as a result of the public hearing notice. Tonight, the designer and homeowner are in the audience. At this time, staff is available to answer any questions that the Planning Commission may have. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to ask the commission if they have any questions for staff at this moment before opening up the public hearing. Commissioner Al?
Yeah, just have a quick question. I heard you say there's gonna be an elevator.
That's correct.
I was trying to find in the municipal code what the requirements are for installing an elevator in a residential home. Can you educate me on that?
Yes. So generally speaking, the City of Cerritos Municipal Code with regards to single-family residential properties doesn't really regulate what goes on inside. The elevator and approval of such an elevator would be subject to California Building Code requirements. The City of Cerritos Municipal Code generally just regulates maximum height, setbacks, lot coverage. So it's really the site intensity standards and site development standards, not the specific interior design of the home.
Thank you. It's very interesting. First time heard that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Chauhan, did you have any comments for staff at this time?
Only one for the owner, in the sense that you're using up the entire 0.7%, 0.70 of the space available. Would you have built the house larger if you could have?
So
Because it's very unique.
yes, we can pose that question to the owners at the time the public hearing is opened.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions for staff at this time? Okay. Commissioner Surdi? No? Okay, so at this time, I will open the public hearing for those in attendance. If they would like to speak, you can come forward. In comment to Commissioner Chauhan's request, I would ask to see if the property owners. And if you could speak into the mic. What was the question? So, hi, sir. Thank you. Do you mind if you could speak into the mic and state your name for the record?
Oh, my name is Jin Cheng Wu.
And
I'm the owner of the 13345 Ashworth. Yeah. What was the question? I'm sorry, I can't quite understand that.
So I know where the property is because I walk around the neighborhood. My question was this: if you could have built a bigger lot, bigger house, would you have? Because you're using every single square feet that's available. So would you have built a bigger house if you could have?
No, I think this will be good enough. Based on the design requirement, I know that I don't have any intent to make it even bigger than that.
Okay.
I think that based on I think by the law requirement, the percentage-wise, the lot, the square footage, the living area, always by the law. No, I have no intention.
So it was by design that you built it this way?
Based
Okay.
on, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
at this time, I would like to ask if there's any other members of the public wishing to speak on this item. Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and turn it back over to the commission to see whether there is a motion. At this time, what's being presented before you is a resolution to approve the precise plan for, again, to construct a first floor and a new second floor addition for the single-family residential home at 13345 Ashworth Street.
I'll move. I move to approve precise plan 2025-11
Seconded.
Okay. A motion was made by Commissioner Au and second by Commissioner Chauhan. At this time, we'll activate the electronic voting. Are we allowed to? And thank you. Thank you for allowing us the time to, the vote to approve the precise plan passes on a vote of 3-1 with one recusal. Thank you. So at this time, I will then ask staff to bring back the Chair Reyes.
Thank you, commissioners, and thank you, staff, and congratulations to the applicant. Now we move on to item 7B, Development Code Amendment. It will be to adopt a resolution of the Cerritos Planning Commission recommending that the City of Cerritos Council approve Development Code Amendment 2026-1, a request to amend Chapter 22.46 of Cerritos Municipal Code related to location and permitting rate for a body art businesses. Staff, do I have a presentation?
Yes, thank you, Chair Reyes. Yes, as mentioned, under agenda item number 7B is a public hearing item for consideration of amendments to Chapter 22.26 of the Cerritos Municipal Code relating to body art businesses. After noticing of tonight's public hearing, staff has identified additional amendments related to body art businesses that should also be addressed within the recommendation by the Commission. So in order to allow for proper public hearing, notice and consideration, these additional changes, to address these additional changes, staff is requesting for the Commission tonight that the public hearing be open this evening as noticed, and then table the discussion for this item. Staff will then renotice this item with the additional amendments mentioned and bring it back to the Planning Commission for consideration and ultimately recommendation to the City Council.
Do I need a motion and a vote to approve the tabling of the agenda?
Yes, so go
Yes.
ahead and open the public hearing.
But first we need a public hearing. Yes. Do we have anything? So I don't see anybody, so close the public hearing, and now a motion to table the agenda.
Yes.
I need a motion from the commissioners to table this agenda for the next.
Motion to table them.
Second.
So it's been moved by Commissioner Chauhan and seconded by Commissioner Au. So do I have any discussion? No discussion. Now we have electronic voting, please.
There's no discussion
discussion
allowed on the
on
motion
table.
to table. Yes, we'll just take the votes now.
Okay, take a vote.
Does body art mean tattoos? I assume, right? Is that what it means, body art?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, motion passed.
Yes, the motion to table the discussion has been passed on a vote of 4-0. This item, again, will be renoticed to a future Planning Commission meeting date. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, staff, and thank you, commissioners. Item 7C, GPA 2026-1, DMA 2026-1, and LLA 2026-1. Review and consideration to waive full reading of and adopt resolutions of the Cerritos Planning Commission recommending that the City Council approve General Plan Amendment 2026-1 and Development Map Amendment 2026-1 and Lot Line Adjustment 2026-1 for the property located at 18600 and 18616 Bloomfield Avenue, and that'll be the Heritage Park. Correct that address. Okay, and we do have a presentation from the staff.
Yes, thank you, Chair Reyes. Tonight, on Under agenda item number 7C is our last public hearing item before you tonight. It is a consideration again for the commission on a recommendation to the city council relating to a general plan amendment, a development code map amendment, and a lot line adjustment relating to two existing city-owned parcels within Heritage Park. At this time, a presentation will be given by Associate Planner Mary. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Acuna. Good evening, Honorable Chair and members of the Planning Commission. The item before you this evening is a request for review and consideration of 3 entitlements, collectively proposed to facilitate a lot line adjustment in order to access eligible funding for island repairs at Heritage Park, located at 18600 and 18616 Bloomfield Avenue. The entitlements that will be discussed tonight are General Plan Amendment 2026-1, Development Map Amendment 2026-1, and Lot Line Adjustment 2026-1. At this time, I would like to turn your attention to the screen for my presentation. Heritage Park presently consists of 2 parcels, shown in the image on the screen. Parcel 1 is located at 18600 Bloomfield Avenue. The site encompasses approximately 14.73 acres and is currently designated as parks and open space land use. The existing zoning is open space, OS, and the property is presently used consistent with that designation as park and open space. Parcel 2 is located at 18616 Bloomfield Avenue and is significantly smaller at approximately 0.44 acres. The site is currently designated for low-density residential land use and zoned single-family residential, RS 6500. Historically, this parcel was used as a residential property. However, it is now utilized as park space, following the city's acquisition of the property in 2016. Together, these parcels function as part of the city's broader park and open space system, despite differences in their underlying land use and zoning designations. The city has identified available Los Angeles County Measure A funding to support the rehabilitation of the Heritage Park Play Island, which requires a recorded deed restriction. In order to record that deed restriction, a clearly defined legal parcel is required. The proposed entitlements collectively facilitate eligibility for Measure A funding by establishing that legal framework. The 3 entitlements that are being proposed by staff tonight include General Plan Amendment 2026-1 to change the land use designation from low-density residential to parks and open space, Development Map Amendment 2026-1 to change the zoning designation from single-family residential, RS 6500, to open space, OS, and Lot Line Adjustment 2026-1 to adjust the existing lot lines to establish a separate parcel for the Heritage Park Play Island. The proposed entitlements are administrative actions intended to ensure general plan and zoning consistency, support funding eligibility, and align land use and zoning designation with how the property is currently used. The next slides will discuss in further detail each entitlement. General Plan Amendment 2026-1 proposes to change the land use designation of approximately 0.44 acres of land located at 18616 Bloomfield Avenue. It is outlined in red on the screen. The current land use designation is low-density residential, and the proposed new designation is parks and open space. This amendment aligns with the general plan designation with the site's long-standing use as parkland and ensures land use consistency. This slide provides a visual comparison of the current and the proposed land use designations. Development Map Amendment 2026-1 proposes to change the zoning designation of that same 0.44 acre parcel at 18616 Bloomfield Avenue, outlined in red on the screen. The current zoning designation is single-family residential, RS 6500, and the proposed zoning designation is open space, OS. This amendment ensures zoning consistency with surrounding park uses. This slide illustrates the zoning change from single-family residential, RS 6500, to open space, OS, which corresponds with the previous general plan land use amendment and reflects the existing conditions at the site. Finally, Lot Line Adjustment 2026-1 proposes to adjust the existing lot lines within Heritage Park to create a distinct parcel for the Heritage Park Play Island, which is necessary to record the required deed restriction for Measure A funding eligibility. It should be noted that the lot line adjustment does not increase the number of parcels and does not alter public access or circulation to the park. This slide provides an aerial map of the existing lot lines for Heritage Park. And this slide shows the proposed adjusted lot lines under Lot Line Adjustment 2026-1. A public hearing notice for the proposed entitlements was published in the Los Cerritos Community News, as well as posted on the city's 4 designated posting boards at least 20 days prior to the public hearing. The staff report and all exhibits were posted to the city's website in advance of tonight's meeting. These entitlements are consistent with the goals and objectives of the Cerritos General Plan, found within the land use element and the open space/recreation element. The city will continue to preserve, promote, and protect the existing high-quality physical development that characterizes this community. GPA 2026-1, DMA 2026-1, and LLA 2026-1 are being presented to the Planning Commission tonight for consideration, and if approved this evening, is tentatively scheduled to be presented to the City Council for consideration on January 26, 2026. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission review and discuss the proposed entitlements, conduct a public hearing, and adopt resolutions recommending that the City Council approve General Plan Amendment 2026-1 to amend the land use designation from low-density residential to parks and open space, Development Map Amendment 2026-1 to amend the zoning designation from single-family residential, RS 6500, to open space, OS, and Lot Line Adjustment 2026-1 to adjust the existing lot lines to establish a separate parcel for the Heritage Park Play Island. Prior to tonight's meeting, one public comment was received for this item and provided to the Planning Commission. The public comment was related to Senate Bill 330, related to no net loss in residential capacity. As the Planning Commission may recall last month, the Planning Commission and the City Council approved the rezoning of the commercial shopping center at the southwest corner of Bloomfield Avenue and South Street to Area Development Plan 20, also known as ADP 20, allowing for both commercial and residential uses at the site. As such, the addition of housing units through ADP 20 will be sufficient to replace the one housing unit lost as a result of tonight's entitlements, and the city will remain in compliance with Senate Bill 330. A no net loss analysis of this discussion will be incorporated into the findings for City Council accordingly. This concludes staff's presentation. Staff is available to answer any questions the Planning Commission may have. Thank you.
Great presentation, Ms. Balderrama. Thank you so much for that well presented and well taught presentation. Do I have any comments from the commission?
I have a question.
Questions? Let me recognize Ms. Commissioner Al.
Was there, before the acquisition by the city government in 2016 of that the second parcel. Was there ever a residential structure on that the parcel? And if so, when was that the structure demolished?
The structure before was a single-family residential home, and it was demolished after the city's acquisition following 2016.
I see. Thank you.
Commissioner, any question, comments? No? So now, comment later. Okay, now we will open it for public comment, and we don't have any, but the comment that was made has already been addressed. So at this time, I don't see any audience that would like to make comments. So I will close the public comments for 7C. Now, I would like to get a motion to have, do you want some comments before we move to motion? Okay, Commissioner Chauhan.
So the comment was, Mary, thank you so much for explaining that, because that was my wondering as well. Since we had made so many adjustments to housing, in addition, am I not correct that we did another piece of property where the city gave some land towards the 5 houses with the ADU? That was another piece of property that was created in addition to.
Yeah, so there was a single-family residential development of 5 lots at Clarkdale Avenue. That was a private developer's proposal that was unrelated to the city.
And if I may add, that property was already zoned residential, so it did not require rezoning. So the property that Ms. Balderrama had mentioned was previously commercial, and we added additional housing, which then would address the public comment.
And I'm so glad that we are finally getting some traction toward getting the island fixed, renovated, and back in use for the children of the city. Thank you.
Comment, Commissioner Al.
Yeah, I just want to add that remember in November we approved 3 more in addition to the southwest corner of Bloomfield and the south, and we added hundreds more than just this one residential area. So I feel this this public correspondence. I guess I don't know if the writer actually is aware of what we did in November, and this concurrent interpreted as at the same meeting. I'm not sure if that's in the law or if it's just this organization's interpretation. So personally, I don't really see a problem.
Thank you, Commissioner Al. And also, I would like to also again reiterate how I think that presentation clearly explained what we're doing here, and as long as it satisfies SB 330, which I think from our legal analysis it does, and also the no net loss analysis that you will present to City Council will be very helpful, because once we understand, like Commissioner Al was saying, that in the whole scheme of things, there's no net. We're actually gaining. We have more that we are building than losing with this one transaction. So I would like to have a motion from the commissioner to go with the staff recommendation to approve item 7C.
I make a motion to approve the new changes on the land use.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Surti. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Seconded by Commissioner Chauhan. So may we have electronic voting, please?
For clarification, the motion is made for Planning Commission's recommendation to City Council to adopt the General Plan Amendment, Development Amendment, and Lot Line Adjustment.
Correct. That's 7C GPA 2026-1, DMA 2026-1, and Lot Line Adjustment LLA 2026-1.
Thank you. So the motion was made by Commissioner Surti and second by Commissioner Chauhan. At this time, we'll activate the electronic voting. Okay, all votes are received and the motion passes 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, staff. Again, I think we are all looking forward to the rehabilitation of Heritage Island and looking forward to ribbon cutting ceremony. Now, item 8 reports. Do I have any report from our commission staff liaison?
Thank you, Chair Reyes. Tonight, I do not have any reports for the commission.
Okay, thank you. And reports from our planning commission members. Do you have any reports?
I just want to make a quick comment. I know that because of the water sewer rate increase issue, and there's a lot of emotions in various corners of the city. Personally, I really don't want to see that. I want to see everybody coming together to face our problems and to find the solutions. And personally, I don't see too many people saying that we should not pay up. We should delay the payment to pay the full water rate. I think what most people are saying is that can we explore some alternative funding sources? I think that's reasonable. So I don't know. I just want to hope everybody comes together to find a solution to our problems.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen. I think the city and the staff and the council have done a great job in really opening up the discussion to every possible venue. They discuss this at every council meetings, at every commission meetings. We have a separate at the Heritage Park. So, and I really think and appreciate all the citizens who are for and against what's going on. But the city council eventually will have to make a decision. And I know that they will make the decision taking all the information they receive, and they will make it the best. They make this the best of their ability. So I think they will end up okay. So, having no more on the agenda, I now move this special meeting of the Cerritos.
I have a public comment.
Oh, you have comment. Okay, Mr. Commissioner.
I just, I want to, there was a lady that spoke about the water rate increase, how she was against it, right? So there one thing I did agree upon with her, that I think we need to have full transparency on how the money's allocated and how that's being used, right? But I do disagree on 2 points. One is that I don't think we should do a bond measure to do this, because I think bonds are very expensive, and it really it amplifies the cost of the to the city and to the to overall budget. And the third thing, I don't think we should delay the January 28th meeting for the passing of the water rates. So those are the things I want to make publicly.
Commissioner Chauhan.
So, Commissioner Al, I totally agree with your sentiment. I've had several conversations with members of the community, and we split along those things. We all know that the fixtures need to be fixed. It's the amount, and everyone has a different threshold by which we can come to a point of agreement. Having said that, Happy New Year to the staff and everyone, and please remember we have MLK Day coming up on January 19th.
Thank you, Commissioner Chowan. And I think there was a lot of advertisement when there's already flyers about the MLK breakfast or celebration that's going on. So hope to everybody can, if you're available, to join us in that celebration. So I now move to close this planning commission hearing to close.